Hey buddies, I am Miss Ryan and I am going to teach you a little bit today about clouds. So the first thing we are going to do is a little experiment. So you're going to need your clear cup, your food coloring, your shaving cream, and you're going to need some water, okay? So you can either take your cup directly to the sink to fill it up, or you can get some water in a cup and bring it over. I'd probably just take your cup and fill it up. And you'd fill it up about 3/4 full because you want to be able to do other things. And if it's overflowing, it may not work as well. Okay. And we don't want to make a mess. Okay. So get your water and go ahead and just go to the sink to fill it up. You're going to do it about 3/4 full. Okay. And then I'll give you a second. So once you get that done, you will get your shaving cream and you will squirt it in. Don't do a whole lot because the more shaving cream that you do, the more food coloring you're going to have to use, okay? So what this is this is representing the Earth's atmosphere, and then we have this cloud, okay? Now the clouds absorb the moisture in the air, and they also take it from the ocean and various bodies of water, okay? And then what happens then is the more moisture that we have in our cloud builds up, and then it can start to rain, okay? Now, obviously, that doesn't happen immediately, okay? So this will have to soak through the shaving cream to make it through the atmosphere. And we'll also learn today a little bit about the different clouds and what to expect when you see those clouds, okay? So we're going to set this to the side and let it do its thing. And then when it starts to drip down, we'll look at it again. And we should have rain, okay? So what we are going to do now while we're writing on that is the craft. So what you need for your craft is you will need glue, gray paint, 10 cotton balls, okay? You will need a paintbrush and your crayons, okay? So what we're going to do first is grab any crayon that you prefer. Just make sure it's one that you can see on the blue piece of paper, okay? And the first word that we're going to write on our blue piece of paper is cirrus, okay? So C-I-R-R-U-S, cirrus, okay? And I wrote mine closer to the top because I'm going to kind of do these in the order that they would be in our atmosphere, okay? So like pretend this is the ground down here, and if you want, you can take your green crayon and put some grass down there if you want, so you know where it is, okay? It's totally up to you. You can make it super pretty. It's however you want to do it, all right? Okay. And the reason I chose the blue paper was because then it kind of looks like our skies, even though most of the time they're not this blue. But it does change different colors of blue. So we've got the green and we wrote cirrus, okay? Cirrus clouds are around 7,000 to 14,000 meters above the ground, all right? And they usually have ice because of their height. So something about our atmosphere is the further up you are from the ground, the colder it is, okay? So cirrus clouds, instead of holding rain droplets, they're more likely to have ice, okay? So what we're going to do now is with our cotton ball, we're going to make some cirrus clouds. Now cirrus clouds, they're actually very thin and pulled out. So what you're going to do is you're going to do little shredded pieces pulled out, okay, of your cotton ball. Okay, and it's kind of interesting because I don't know about you, but my cotton balls kind of got these little balls in there. So we can just pretend those are ice droplets, okay? So we're just gonna pull those out. And I'll show you my paper here in a minute too. And that, for cirrus, you probably just need one cotton ball. Okay, so I only did about half my cotton ball. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the paintbrush and the glue. Okay. And I am just going to get my piece of paper and I'm just gonna paint some glue on there. Okay, just random little spots for the cirrus clouds. Okay, because you can just drag it across there. It's all right. Okay. So then once you do that, you can get some of your cotton that you've pulled apart and just stick it on there. Random little spots, okay? Because these are our cirrus clouds. You can just drag them out even more through the glue if you want. Okay. So then this is what we're doing with these. Okay. And that's our cirrus cloud, okay? And those are the ones that are 7,000 to 14,000 meters high above the ground, okay? So we're done with cirrus. And next we are going to do stratus clouds. Now stratus clouds are actually considered like the blanket clouds that you see, and usually when you have quite a bit of shade, it's because it's stratus clouds. Now the stratus clouds, they're often used as the term of a blanket of clouds because whenever they blanket across our atmosphere, they actually make the sun reflect back, so it's not touching the earth. And when that happens, it makes our atmosphere cooler, okay? So those are the ones that you really want when you want some nice shade or you want it to be cooler, okay? And those are also low to the ground. And they reflect the sun away from the earth. So what we're going to do with those is we are going to write stratus. Okay, stratus, S-T-R-A-T-U-S. And then what we're going to do with those is, since those are more blankets, you're going to pull apart again, but you don't want it to be these separated ones, okay? You want it to just pull apart. So it forms more of a blanket, you see? Okay, so once again, we are going to take our paintbrush and dip it in the glue. And you're just gonna, with the stratus, you'll just spread it straight across, okay? Like this. And we'll probably do a couple more cotton balls for this. Okay. And I'm only going about halfway across because I'm actually gonna do cumulus right next to it. All right, so we're gonna take our stratus, it's more of a blanket, and then we are going to push that down on the glue. And stratus aren't super fluffy. That's the cloud we're gonna do next. So they don't have to be like a big bundle. Just make sure that it's more of that blanket, okay, for stratus. And now our next one is cumulus, and those are our big fluffy ones. So it's C-U-M-U-L-U-S for cumulus. Okay. And then for those, we won't have to pull our stuff apart a whole lot because those are the big fluffy ones that are super pretty. Those are the ones that you can kind of lay down outside and look up and kind of think about what you think that cloud looks like. If it looks like an animal or maybe a person. Okay. So you can pull it a little bit so it's not full cotton ball, but not a whole lot. And you'll just stick those down We'll probably do 3 here. We're also going to go back and use our gray at the end of this. So I haven't forgot about the gray paint. Okay, so then we'll pull that apart. Okay. So now we have our cirrus clouds, our stratus clouds, and our cumulus clouds. Okay, so you can kind of tell the difference in each one. And the cumulus clouds are big, white, and fluffy. They're usually around 2,000 meters or lower from the ground. And they go vertically. So that means that even though they might start 2,000 or below meters from the ground, they can keep going up, right? Because vertical is upwards, okay? That's where we go this way, right? And then the stratus clouds, they run horizontal because they go from side to side, okay? So that is the difference between those two clouds. They can usually be around the same in height. And then our last one that we are going to do is nimbostratus, and that is usually your rain clouds. So nimbostratus is going to be NIMBOSTRATUS. And then we will go ahead and get some glue on our paper. Now, what do you think nimbostratus is? So we already have stratus, right? And stratus were blankets. So obviously we're dealing with kind of a blanket of a cloud again with our cotton balls, okay? But what do you think the word nimbo means?